What is up, everybody? It's your boy Tay Tay the Savior back with you guys with another video for today. And today we are going to talk about WrestleMania 41 weekend predictions, which includes NXT Stand and Deliver and WrestleMania 41 Night 1 and Night 2. Now, the bill for WrestleMania 41 has not been as good as last year's WrestleMania because last year's WrestleMania featured The Rock and the awesome heel turn and his Instagram promos, and we got The Rock beating up Cody Rhodes in the parking lot, and we got the Avengers Endgame at WrestleMania. This year, not so much, as the only big shocking thing was the John Cena heel turn, which was great and all, but the confrontations between Cody and Cena until the third one has left little to be desired, but I'm still looking forward to the main event, which we'll get to later. PR's been down bad. Tickets have not been sold out. The tickets were expensive, so that's why they had to lower the prices. I mean, you wouldn't see me purchasing a ticket towards WrestleMania, let alone 2,000 or 3,000 or whatever price it is. Like, that's why I'm sitting right at home watching WrestleMania. So let's first get into NXT Stand and Deliver. So the one for the pre-show is Metaphor, that is Last Legend and Jakar Jackson, taking on Fatal Influence, Fallon Henley, and JC Jane versus Janet Paxley and Gigi Dolan and Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. One problem. Weren't we supposed to get Bayley versus Roxanne Perez at Stand and Deliver? Sorry. At Stand and Deliver and WrestleMania. I mean, WWE was building to it, and they kind of dropped it. And that's not one of the only issues that I had with this road to WrestleMania. They built to it, and then they dropped out of nowhere and they changed direction. Roxanne Perez came up to the main roster. She had a fantastic Royal Rumble performance, breaking the record, only to be eliminated by Charlotte Flair. She was also in the Women's Elimination Chamber match. She also stood out on that. Also a good performance. And she is ready for the main roster. I don't get why you scrapped the feud and put Roxanne and Cora in a Smash match for the women's tag team titles. I guess it's because they want to call Roxanne and Cora Jade as a pairing and not leave Cora Jade behind. But then Cora and Roxanne, what they involved in the Fatal 4-Way main event for the NXT Women's Championship against Julia. And Bayley was involved in that match too. So, anyways, I'm going with Roxanne and Cora to take the win. Next, we have the ladder match for the vacant NXT Women's North American Championship. We have Zarya, Kalani Jordan, Sovuka, Izzy Dane, Lola Vice, and Thea Hale. My prediction is Sovuka to win the NXT Women's North American Championship. If you watch Speed, she just won the WWE Women's Championship. So I could see Sovuka winning, or I could see Zarya winning to kind of further the Sovuka and Zarya storyline. But yeah, Sovuka for the win. That's my prediction. Next up, we got the Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT Women's Championship. Stephanie McMahon defends it against Julia, Jordan Grace, and Jada Parker. I am going with Stephanie to retain the title. It could be anybody's game. I could see Julian win. I could see Jordan Grace win. I could see Jada Parker winning. Jada Parker has been showing out a lot, and I'm happy for her that she's in this spot. Jordan Grace, I would love to see her on the main roster, but it is what it is. I could also see her with the NXT Women's Championship, but my prediction is Stephanie Falco retaining. Next up, we have Faction defending the NXT Tag Team Championships against Hank and Tank, the winners of the Gauntlet match. I am going with Faction to retain. Or a surprise prediction is Hank and Tank win the titles and we get Faction called up to the main roster and put it over on Raw Smackdown, because the tag team division on both Raw and Smackdown is fine, especially on Raw. So either tag team division could use those. And Faction has been the best tag team in all of WWE. For the NXT North American Championship, Ricky Saints, the newly signed from AEW, defends against another former AEW wrestler, Ethan Page. I am going with Ricky Saints to retain. I think Ethan Page is great and all. And congratulations for Ricky Saints finally getting out of Guantanamo Bay, finally proving himself that he is one of the top stars, and it's a shame that Tony Khan just missed the bag. So my pick is Ricky Saints. Next, we have the D'Angelo family taking on the Dark Stake. I am going with the Dark Stake to win this match. The tension between Stacks and Tony is great. You know, I haven't watched NXT a lot like that, but I am keeping tabs on storylines. Will Stacks turn on Tony D? Luca Crucifino is doing his own thing down in Evolve. Yeah. And last but not least, the triple threat match for the NXT Championship. Oba Femi puts the title against Trick Williams and Javon Evans. My pick is Oba Femi retains. Alright, that's it for the NXT Stand and Deliver. Now let's go to WrestleMania Night 1. And the match that is slated to open the show is Gunther versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, here's the thing. The build for this match has been lackluster. Up until they put Jimmy Uso into the build, Gunther beats Jimmy Uso, bloodies him up. Great vision, great sight to see, loved it. We got more of the intensity from Gunther and Jey Uso. Jey Uso shedding all that yeeting and the happy-go-lucky stuff. That was until this past Monday night where you just saw him yeeting, which wasn't really a good look, but overall, I'm still looking forward to the match. I know that Gunther has not had a bad match before. I know Jey Uso is not the greatest technical wizard in the ring. So, match will be good. I am going with Jey Uso to finally beat Gunther and finally win the World Heavyweight Championship. Get a moment. It's all good. Start the show off hot. Next up, the other Royal Rumble winner, Charlotte Flair, challenges Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship. Oh boy. What do I have to say about this build? The moment that Charlotte Flair came back and won the Women's Royal Rumble, the build to this match was Charlotte Flair came back on the Raw and Smackdown after Mania, trying to pander around to the crowd and saying, "Oh, I've had surgery. This could have ended my career," and try to be babyface. Like nobody was buying to that shit. Everybody saw right through it real quick. So WWE had to pivot her as a heel, and we knew that Charlotte and Tiffany was the match at WrestleMania. I didn't like how we got there. I felt like Io Sky or Bianca Belair should have won the Rumble, or Jordan Grace should have won the Royal Rumble. And I'll stick by it to this day. Charlotte should have won the Elimination Chamber. And even that would be insufferable, but it would be just as less painful to go through, because for weeks we had Charlotte Flair come out each and every week burying Tiffany Stratton, making Tiffany Stratton look like a chump, look like a fool, look like Charlotte's bitch. This side-by-side promo did Tiffany no favors at all. And the face-to-face promo a couple weeks ago, did Charlotte or Tiffany Stratton Zero. Zero favors at all. Charlotte Flair going off script, bringing personal lives. Charlotte Flair, if you listen to JD from NY 206 and any other podcasters, you know, Charlotte Flair is known to be selfish behind the scenes. She politics her way to the WrestleMania 35 main event match, which is a known fact. She politics her way into the championships. And she is supposed to be helping Tiffany Stratton get over, but instead, she is burying her. Charlotte Flair is at this time, the stage of her career where she should be elevating talent, elevating those that will one day take her spot. That Sherry Shepard interview did her no favors at all. I can promise you that. So my prediction is that Tiffany Stratton should 100% retain the women's championship. But my fear is that WWE is going to give Charlotte Flair the women's championship, and we will have to sit through yet another reign of terror. And Tiffany Stratton is officially buried. Charlotte Flair should lose to Tiffany Stratton. That is my prediction. Alright, let me take a sip of water. For the WWE United States Championship, LA Knight defends against Jacob Fatu. This match has little to no build. Outside of the tension between Jacob and Solo, Jacob Fatu wins the strap. I love Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu is a beast. All gas, no brakes. He is the future. And I feel sorry for LA Knight. They took the title off of him and gave it to Shinsuke Nakamura, who did all with the title reign, only to give it back to LA Knight. And I feel like LA Knight has got the short end of the stick. So, Jacob Fatu will win. What do you do at LA Knight? Probably send him to Raw. Next match is Jade Cargill versus Naomi. This is one of the matches that I am looking forward to. The first one-on-one women's match in 19 years. That is crazy. And these ladies deserved it. Naomi turning heel couldn't come at a better time. Jade Cargill came back. She was attacked by Naomi. I loved the face-to-face with Bianca. Naomi confessing to Bianca that she was the one who attacked Jade. That was cinema. The character change to Naomi with the receiver of caution has been great. Jade Cargill, like her or hate her, she's alright, but it's going to be determined. I'm wondering if Jade Cargill is going to have a decent match with Naomi. Naomi is a hell of a wrestler, easily underrated. So my pick for this match is Jade Cargill gets the win over Naomi. WWE has all eyes on Jade. And I do think that she will be in the Women's World title picture soon. As for Naomi, very underrated. I really, really, really want her to win a Women's World title later on this year. And I don't think this is going to be a one and done match. I could see Lass and Jakara getting called up and pairing with Naomi during the draft. Next, we got Rey Mysterio going one-on-one with El Grande Americano. I'm interested in this. I actually like the El Grande Americano character. I love Jack Gable. We all love him. We all want the best for him. I get it. Jack Gable deserves better, but it is what it is. Jack Gable has been having this lucha problem, wanting to master the lucha arts, and we got to this point. I think El Grande Americano should get the win. And just like the Jade and Naomi, I do not see this match being a one and done. I don't. And next up, before we get to the main event, War Raiders defend the World Tag Team Championships against the New Day. Why is this happening? Why? I swear to God that we should have gotten the Street Profits, Motor City Machine Guns, DIY, and the rest of the teams that have been competing for the Smackdown Tag Team titles on the card. Yet they're being relegated to Wrestlemania Smackdown tonight. It's a shame. But unless Big E comes, New Day should win the World Tag Team titles. New Day had a hell of a heel turn on Big E on December 2nd of Raw. It was absolutely fucking great. Yet Triple H and WWE missed the bag big time. So I guess I could see that happening as WWE giving the tag team titles to the New Day as a consolation prize. I feel like the New Day heel turns should have been handled better, in my honest opinion. The War Raiders is cold. They get no reaction every week. I feel bad for Eric and Ivar. It's not their fault. And it's not the New Day's fault either. It's just with creative. And the main event for night one is a triple threat match between Roman Reigns, CM Punk with Paul Heyman in Punk's corner going on against Seth Rollins. Now, at first, I wasn't feeling it. And for good reason. I didn't think that there was going to be, I didn't think that the match had any stakes on the line. And I believed that Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre should be the match at WrestleMania. And CM Punk versus Seth Rollins should be the match, whether it's with the Last Man Standing or a steel cage match with the Madison Square Garden stuff. I felt like Punk and Rollins should have been one-on-one, and I felt like Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre should have happened one-on-one. But I saw why they did it. It all came back with the Shield in 2012 when CM Punk enlisted Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Jon Moxley as the Shield. The Shield made the epic debut at Survivor Series 12, helping Punk retain the title. Years later, Punk comes back. Paul Heyman is with Roman Reigns. Rollins and Punk was supposed to wrestle at WrestleMania 40 for the World Heavyweight Championship. Punk got hurt. Excuse me. Seth Rollins versus McIntyre happened. We have McIntyre versus Punk. Greatest rivalry of 2024, in my opinion. And then Survivor Series came. The Bloodline, Roman's Bloodline, wanted to recruit Rollins into Roman's team for War Games. Rollins said no. And we got Punk added to the match. That was until the Royal Rumble. Punk eliminated Rollins and Reigns. Rollins stomped Reigns. We weren't able to see Reigns until the March 10th episode where he came back and helped Rollins win the match and spared Rollins and Punk. And Paul Heyman has been caught in the middle of all this stuff because on the Smackdown before Survivor Series, CM Punk told Heyman that he owed him a favor. And we all speculated that it was going to be either to be added into the Undisputed Championship match or something. And that favor was Paul Heyman being in Punk's corner, which changed everything for the triple threat match. Now you have Rollins trying to be the instigator of the match. You have Roman Reigns, who lost his wise man, who couldn't believe that Paul Heyman had to accept the favor with CM Punk. And overall, the build's been great. And I believe Rollins 100% of everything that's going on. So, my pick, Seth Rollins wins. And and whether or not he walks out with Paul Heyman, who knows? All right, that's night one. Now let's get to night two's opening match for the Women's World Championship. Io Sky defends against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Now, we all wanted Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley one-on-one, whether it's at WrestleMania or at SummerSlam, but I see why they went that route. I could see Bianca and Rhea happening at an Evolution pay-per-view that they have later on this year, or SummerSlam, or I could even see them doing this series of matches. Say what you want about the build, but they are going to have a banger match. Io Sky, she's the Women's World Champion. She won it from Rhea from the Raw After Chamber. Bianca won the Chamber. Rhea got up in her own feelings and it cost her the title. We knew where they was going, triple threat match. I didn't like how, how long it took to get there. But knowing Triple H, he went back to the WrestleMania 20 vote when it was himself, Shawn Michaels, and the less said about and he who shall not be named for the World Heavyweight Championship. I am going with Io Sky to retain. I think Bianca and Rhea are going to cancel each other out. I could also see Bianca Belair winning the Women's World Championship because WWE wants to market her undefeated streak. She's like 4-0 on her WrestleMania. I'm not counting the WrestleMania 34 Andre the women's WrestleMania battle BS. But yeah, Io Sky retains. Next, we got a Sin City Street Fight. Damon Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Listen, Priest and McIntyre, great at what they do. Both of them, if you watch my Best of 2024 WWE Awards video, I put them as candidates for Superstar of the Year because they both had a tremendous year, in my opinion. I wasn't feeling it at first. Again, don't discount Damon Priest. Damon Priest is great. Don't discount Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is also great. I believe they are going to have a Barber another match. But like I said before, Drew McIntyre deserved better. I get the discourse of why Drew McIntyre is not in a bigger match, like in the World Championship picture or maybe against Roman Reigns. That was my idea. If they were not going to do Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre, I felt like they should have at least gave him Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed Championship. But it is what it is. Priest and McIntyre have history. It dates all the way back to WrestleMania last year when Priest cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase and won the World Heavyweight title. And then Clash of the Castle happened. Priest took advantage of all this nonsense. Same with Money in the Bank when McIntyre cashed in his own Money in the Bank contract against Priest. Had the title won, but Punk interfered, and Priest took advantage of all this. And Drew McIntyre should 100% win this match. He really needs this. McIntyre should be in the world title picture, hopefully this year. I hope they have big things for him because we can't be wasting Drew McIntyre away like this. Alright. Fatal 4-way for the Intercontinental Championship. Braun Breaker defends against Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. This match had little to no build. It was rushed, but it is what it is. Should be a hell of a match. The one thing I'm interested is with the Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio of it all. Here's why. Because Dominic Mysterio has been teasing that there's going to be new member of the Judgment Day. And Finn Balor said, no new members each and every week. Dominic tried to get Penta. That didn't work. So Penta is involved in the mix. And Penta has actually been winning matches. And I love the debut of Ray Phoenix over on Smackdown, which was absolutely great. But anyways, I know these four are going to kill it. Braun Breaker, say what you want about him, but here's the future pieces of the company. Here's the future piece of the company. So, my prediction is Dominic Mysterio wins the title. Braun Breaker, Rex spears Penta, he spears Balor, only for Dominic to pick the bones and steal the title. And we get Balor and Dominic feuding for the IC title. I could also see Penta in the mix for the Intercontinental Championship in the future. Next is AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. This match, no build. No build. But should be a great match. AJ Styles and Logan Paul, two phenomenal wrestlers at what they do. I'm going with Styles to win. Logan Paul could benefit from this loss. He is bulletproof. The Women's Tag Team Championships will be on the line with Raquel and Liv defending against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. This match is not doing it for me. Because why in the hell would you pair Bayley and Lyra Valkyria together when Lyra is the Women's Intercontinental Champion? She should be defending her championship on WrestleMania. Same with Chelsea Green with her Women's US title. I think both mid-card women's titles have been done dirty by Triple H. I don't think Triple H has done anything to make these titles feel important at all. And like I said, Bayley and Rox, if Lyra was going to defend the title, why couldn't she at least defend against Bayley and Roxanne in the triple threat match? If we were going to do it in a one-on-one match with Bayley and Roxanne, I feel like they could have at least made it a triple threat women's IC title match with Lyra, Bayley, and Roxanne, and have Roxanne win the Intercontinental Championship. And Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, they should be the ones challenging for the Women's Tag Team Championships. We haven't seen Alexa Bliss since Elimination Chamber. That's the last time we saw her. And Wyatt Six, we haven't even seen him since December. That's sad. that's sad that we haven't seen the Wyatt Six or Alexa Bliss defending them. And it's sad that Chelsea Green is not even on the card. And I read today that Fightful that WWE made pitches of Chelsea Green's U.S. Open challenge against um, Nikki Bella or Alexa Bliss. I mean, I could have taken that against against Chelsea Green for Selena Vega, which was scrapped from the Smackdown card. So, yeah. I feel bad for all these women. Liv and Raquel, Liv Morgan particularly, she had a hell of a year last year. Great performances from Elimination Chamber, turning heel, and now she's being relegated to this. Listen, Liv Morgan, Bayley, Lyra, they're great. Raquel, I don't know. So, as far as my pick, Liv and Raquel retain. And speaking of matches that was supposed to happen, before we get to the main event, Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens was supposed to happen. Kevin Owens' neck required surgery, so he'll be out for 2 months. I was really looking forward to it. The history between Randy and KO, Kevin Owens pile driving Randy Orton, taking him out of action for months. We got the return of Randy Orton at Elimination Chamber. And it's a shame that the match got cut off. So now Randy Orton has no WrestleMania opponent. If Solo is Orton's opponent, that would be a flop. That would be a waste of Randy Orton, in my opinion. I would prefer Randy Orton versus Nick Aldis in a one-on-one match because they teased it last week, and I would rather see Orton versus Aldis than Orton versus Solo. And finally, for the WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes puts his year-long reign on the line against a heel-turn John Cena in his final year as an in-ring competitor. Like I said, love the heel turn. Follow-up, very disappointing, but Cena is scheduled to be on tonight's Smackdown, so I hope that they mention more of The Rock. I hope they mention more about Cody and Cena because the first 2 weeks in the European tour, it was about Cena versus the fans. But I get why they did it. They didn't want to get all of it away in one go. But coming into WrestleMania, I really wanted more. So my prediction is John Cena wins the WWE title. John Cena must win the WWE title for the heel turn to work, whether it's by dirty tactics, whether it's helped by The Rock or Travis Scott, who we haven't seen since Elimination Chamber. John Cena has to win championship number 17. And we'll see where it goes. I definitely see Randy Orton versus John Cena at Backlash for the WWE title. Imagine that. That would be fire. So that's it. How do y'all feel about WrestleMania? How do y'all feel about the build? Could WWE have done better with WrestleMania build? Comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. And hit that bell on the notifications. I have my new Super Smash Bros. Remix playthrough on my channel. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.